Hey everybody, it is JPT back here on the Skyfox server. That's right. Gotta build ourselves a sapphire. Oh yeah, we have sapphires. A sapphire... Where'd that thing go? Sapphire saw, because our diamond one broke. That's just a stick. Stone rod is just two stones on top of each other. Sounds like a 90s theme song. Oh yeah. Forgot I had roses down here. I was like, what are the roses doing down here? And sticks. Oh yeah. Give me that sapphire saw. Reason why we were doing that, I'll just toss those in there, is because I was cutting up these blocks to make micro blocks, which, I love me some micro blocks. Have to fill up our tank soon. Ugh. Let's see here, but this is the latest that we're doing on our project. Got me some lights here, which to make these inverted fallout lights, you have to have like Invar, which of course takes like red, rose red, and glowstone to make the Invar. I don't know if I actually have any, but I have some rose red here. But all around us, not a single red flower, so I had to bone meal some regular grass. And Weremuffin actually told me that, but I was still very frustrated when he was like, oh yeah, you just do that. I'm just like, oh no, but still. So I put elevators on each end here, and of course each end has its own lights. And of course we're just pretty much getting to the point now where we're interior decorating, so this actually probably looks a lot different than the last time you saw it. Put down chiseled stone bricks so that they had a little bit of a thing here, although I want to say that these kind of almost do the same thing, but it's just not as defined. So I had to chisel all those blocks. And I was originally going to do carpenter's blocks, but of course when you do carpenter's blocks, it ends up doing kind of individual blocks like this. Like these are individual blocks. Otherwise, they would kind of blend together like this or like this. So I've been kind of tooling around a little bit, kind of put these factory strips around the inside of the lights so that, oh, actually when you look at them, like this would be a really good example, you can kind of see a little bit something behind it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we're working on actually this here. This is glass covers, which are chiseled. These really look industrial, kind of like framing. Like catwalks, I guess is the best way of putting it. I have determined that this is where we will do our power. Now I'm thinking that we'll actually hang it from this floor, and we'll have some machines down here. But I have elevators. Let's go all the way to the top. Okay, so we're on the top. You've seen that before. This is where our command center is going to be. I'm thinking Bill might be able to take this space. Pretty decent space for him. Josh needed something that was a little bit wider, so I'm assuming from there to there is the 20-ish that he'll need. Sleeping quarters, you've seen these before. I've actually done a little bit of detailing with this. I think I flew up rather than climbed up the ladder. But again, kind of using the grating here and sort of a railing here and here, which I really like. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to design the rooms, probably with quartz or something like that, make them white. This is all, you know, this wall's all temporary. So sleeping, this will be our armory, which I think is big enough to have like a smeltery and stuff like that, so we can smelt down. So it'll be like a smeltery armory combination. Basically armory just, you know, because in order to build, you know, suits of armor, you need the metals. So this will kind of be our smelting part. This, of course, will be our power, which is kind of the middle. You kind of always have to just come here in order to get out now, whereas before you went through blocks that were like here. That's where the water level is, actually. So we're below water level at this point. This will be for storage, so we'll have some sort of storage system here. We may actually divide this up in two, because if we do storage correctly, we may not actually need that much space. And then this is, I don't know. This is, I'm not sure. Basically... what this does is this kind of comes down to a single point. There's actually a single block underneath this. The idea, I guess I could have used the elevator. The idea is that this thing, when it comes down, well, that's the sun. when it comes down and lands, it actually pierces the ground. And that's pretty much what it does here. So it like firmly implants itself into a planet by digging into the ground. And you can actually kind of see that if we look through here, which actually doesn't look too terrible. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. This is kind of what it looks like on the outside. I did a lot of detailing work, especially up here, to kind of make this seem like it's a separate pod of sorts. So let's say they could plant this as a settlement and then take off. Like they could take back off to another one of these that's built maybe up in the sky. I like that idea, that there would be some sort of maybe rocket engine underneath that or something, or they could, I don't know. That doesn't quite work logistically because there would be an armory, I guess, right here. But again, water levels right there. It's 12, I believe. So I believe it equals this. So this is the same as that underneath. But of course, I have my jetpack, which has been very convenient. Oops. We'll jump up. Got these decorative blocks. I like them. Of course, we've got our sort of factory blocks there. So you can actually, we carpenter blocked these so that you could actually put these here because it just looked really weird with that strip there. I might put a strip up here actually to kind of match this. I kind of like that idea now that I can see it, because you can't really see it through here as much anymore. And I'm still toying with the idea of doing like a drawbridge for doors, something like that. Or the Galacticraft actually has that stuff. But one thing I actually wanted to do, so I wanted to see if these blocks looked any better than these, because I feel like I've been using these factory block covers, or just factory blocks, a lot. And I didn't know if maybe putting these down, they don't blend together. I love the sound they make when you place them. They're kind of dirty, actually. There's a couple different varieties of this. I just didn't know if this would look better all around. Because, I mean, we're still dealing with single blocks. It's not like they're blending together. So I'm wondering structurally if this looks better. I'm starting to actually think that it does. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make some more of these. But things have been going pretty well. No big complaints here. My work schedule has changed a little bit. It affords me a little bit more flexibility. And I am working from home most of the time. So it kind of gives me some downtime to work between a few creative things. Let's take these down and see if these look any better. I guess I don't need to break them all. This one is much darker. Auto Fisher just caught a plastic bag. That's awesome. I'm wondering if this is too dark. Well, can't really make the final judgment until we lay all of them down. I'm weird like that. But you may or may not have heard by now that I am having a son. My wife is pregnant. If you weren't aware of that, I've talked about that in the past. 23 plastic sheets in it. Interesting. And we found out the other day that we are having a boy. So I am going to be a father of a son, which is interesting. I'm leaning more towards these. And of course, I have already laid all these down, which I'll do later if I decide to really go through with it. Yeah, I am actually leaning more towards this. And I'm almost actually leaning towards just using regular blocks and using these still. So this will be a little bit expensive. But I actually just want to see what that looks like. We've been having a little bit of lag problems on the server lately. Actually, now that I think about it, why would I do that? The reason why I'm doing this is because these are actually at, like, they're at this part of the block, and then these are on the block above it. So they kind of have a raised, you can kind of feel it when you step above. So now I just step down, I just stepped up, stepped down. So yeah, we may not be able to do full blocks underneath it. By the way, you may have never realized this, but I have this adjustable bag that has the thing in it to make me eat automatically, so I just keep all of our apples in there. I've never actually had to fill that up with any food or fill up my body, which I like a lot. We still haven't updated to the most recent version of Hermitcraft Modsauce, which really hasn't affected me that much. But here you can see how we have a lot of room in this area. So again, power and maybe a couple other machines will pretty much go in here. And then our individual rooms will be based on here. One thing I'm thinking about doing, which is going to be really, really expensive, is to use insulated wire and to kind of put it through the hallways here, maybe along the floor or along the ceiling, basically so that they're color coded on at least one side or the other. I think we may do that. So that's kind of something to think about. I am recording to a different hard drive now, but the hard drive only has 35 gigs. It's my solid state. It only has 35 gigs available. So I've been kind of keeping recordings down to a minimum. And I'm actually not quite sure how much space about 11 and a half minutes of video is taking. So I'm going to go check that out, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Actually, not too bad. Not too bad. Around a gig a minute. I should know that by now, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to try this out, see what this looks like. See if this makes it look any better. I think it probably will. It'll still give us kind of that look we want. Oops, that doesn't look terrible. That does, but so far, laying down the slabs, I think is going to work. I like that a lot. Because this just looks like it has no substance to it, no weight to it whatsoever, and that's just not how I build. Yeah, I like that. That looks really good, actually. That looks really good. As a matter of fact, this hover mode is so expensive. That's all right. That's all right. Oh yeah, this will be the way we go. Again, a little expensive to make factory blocks. I mean, it does require iron, but it's not like iron is a scarce resource here on this server. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I don't know. Yeah, those two didn't. Those two. Oh, yeah. That just, ooh, I love it. I love that it actually has a little bit of a thickness to it. That's just how I build. I just like having just weight. You know, it just makes sense. I kind of outdid myself, too, on the outside a little bit with kind of how smooth everything looks. If we kind of go over here, this has become sort of my viewing area. So we'll just land here. This just looks really smooth, and so does this, especially from Josh's place. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in and carpenter block all of this to smooth it out. I just know I'm going to have to. These rooms look really funny, by the way, because of the brown, but eventually it'll be either a white or another gray. So everything will kind of be a grayish thing. These caution tape blocks I want to put somewhere else. I'm thinking of maybe doing it like around here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just kind of where I'm leaning. And eventually we're going to take out the perimeter thing too, because I feel like we're pretty safe now. No. I don't like flying and having lag, because you're just not sure if you're actually going to land properly or not. So we're getting really close to the point where we can move out of there. I just think it's a matter of me stop, decorating for a while. Yeah, I replaced all these. I don't know if I mentioned that. Stop sort of micro blocking everything to death, and then kind of making an effort to go through that. Oh yeah, that looks way better. That looks way better. And I love how you can still partially see through that. So I know I'm not doing a lot of building on camera, and I'm really not doing a lot of sort of projects on camera, like little ditties like I was earlier. It's just because of this. Like, this has become my life, and I just get really obsessed with it. And that's just kind of how things go. I know Bill's having some problems with his computer in order to kind of keep certain games running for a while. Josh is probably a little bit easier to get a hold of at random points during the day, which is probably when I'm going to be recording most of this stuff. Yeah, see how you can see this black through the other side here? I just really like how it gives depth, and I really like these lights. Hopefully we'll add some more of these and they'll kind of eliminate the need for torches. That's the whole point, is we'll do that in the inside too, so we'll have a lot of those. As a matter of fact, I probably need to have one right here, and we can eliminate this torch as well. So I think red lights everywhere, because, you know, red alert, red alert will be very handy. So I got to just figure out, oh yeah, look at that. I just really, really like those lights, how they're hanging there. And Josh is spilled in the background. But yeah, there's still a flurry of activity on here. The vanilla server's probably not getting hit up as much as you know, it used to. I'm sure a update will change just that. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm replacing, I guess we can do this while I continue to talk, replacing these with carpenter blocks so that it kind of just matches this sort of middle third strip. It's kind of what we're going for. And of course, this will just get replaced with these. A couple movies that I've seen lately. Of course, I saw American Sniper the opening weekend. There was like 1 million people at the movie theater. It was decent. I liked it. Let's see. I saw 21 and Over on Netflix streaming. That movie is actually not terrible. It's a lot better than I think people are giving it credit for. The reviews for that movie are not, like the rating it got isn't that great. I meant to actually see it in theaters. I'm somewhat glad I didn't, you know, because I would have kind of felt like, maybe that wasn't worth exactly $10 or whatever. But it wasn't awful. So if you're looking for kind of this, it's not super raunchy, but if you're looking for kind of a 20-something comedy, 21 and Over is not, again, terrible. Movie that is terrible, which I knew would be terrible, and I had to watch it because I saw the trailer in theaters and knew it was just going to be just super awful. Okay, we'll just do that, and we'll fix it with the hammer. Is the movie Dark Skies. It's awful. It's just, there are moments where, especially the ending, towards the end, I'm just howling because it's so bad. It's got Kerry Russell and Josh Hamilton in it. J.K. Simmons also has a little bit of a role in it. Yeah, it's just not very good. So if you're looking for a scary movie to kind of laugh at, because it's just, I couldn't take it seriously, and the trailers for it were just hilarious. Check it out. But I think that's probably going to do it for this episode of Skyfox. Again, apologies for not like being super exciting. You probably shouldn't say that to your audience, but you know, I try to be as honest with you guys as much as possible. We'll see what happens in the next couple of episodes or next couple of days, and I might be able to have a project to do on camera. So until next time, this is JPT. Go play your games, and I'll be seeing ya.